Hey yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Tez back at you with another EdensZero episode, discussion, review, breakdown, whatever you would like to call this, for chapter 147 entitled Rage, Fear, and Grief. And like always, we have another P-Nose analysis on our girl, this time the ever incomparable Ch.147. As her real name is Chloe Francois AI. I probably butchered the second part of her name, but powers, she likes to eat. That's pretty much it. She likes to eat. She likes food uploading videos, so she'd kill it in our day and age with like these mukbang type things. Actually, that's what she does. She does mukbang type videos. Dislikes things that are inedible, so she's pretty much like Charmy. I actually adore that, and I got something to say once we get through the rest of this. Attack, of course, 1 star. Defense 3. I'm surprised at that. Maybe it could just be because she's a more portly sized woman, but you know, we love that around this way. Marksmanship, of course, 1. Ether power, none. She has no ether power whatsoever at all. Intelligence and appetite, of course, appetite is ravenous, 5 stars. Intelligence, I was not actually expecting Ch.147 to be like a 5-star intelligence, but hey, it is what it is. Now, the memo is a popular BQ who really likes to eat. She met Rebecca back during the Geist incident, and now for some reason she's just aboard the EdensZero ship, and she doesn't have a sense of taste. So hey, that's kind of what it is. But now the thing is, so I know Rebecca's a different case in regards to how her ether powers came to be or anything like that, but just somewhere in my head, I would love it, even though it probably will never happen. I would love it if the fact that Ch.147 ate so much of this ether generated food that she actually developed some type of ether, whether the mark be something that appears on her tongue or her hand, who knows what, but I would just like to see it be something similar to that, or like I said, in the same light as Charmy, she could manifest food. Who knows? We don't know, but again, I'm just saying, I would love it. I really would love to see it. So regardless of all that, we get into the first page. We still see all the chaos ensuing out back in space with the Eden ship. We see Hermit, and we also see Sister hooked up to the actual beds in the room, and Ch.147 saying, you know, don't worry, none of their injuries seem to be life-threatening, and we can repair their damaged parts. And Shiki's like still distraught and, you know, not feeling too much of the conversation, like, you know, where did he take her? And Chris is like, yo, give me a minute. If I trace her life signature, I can find her. And then that's when Clean chimes in. He's like, yo, brother, did something happen? He's like, kinda, but I'll tell you about it later. And he was just asking, you know, how she is, and they're basically saying everything out there is kind of easy, like it's not even a challenge, especially with Laguna, who also lets us know that these are basically unarmed or unmanned drones, and this is basically target practice. Now Shiki then interrupts that conversation, kind of perturbed and pissed, like, yo, Jin, and he's like, yo, I found her. She's right here inside the dome location, basically at the military facility inside where, you know, Shura is. And he was like, based on that fact, you know, he didn't shut off her life signature, so he'd say it's more than anything else, it's a trap. Well, of course it's a trap, and Shiki not actually giving a damn. He wants to go rush off and save her, but then Chris lets him know, like, you know, wait, like, you can't do that. That basically would disrupt the entire planet they already have, with Wise's team already in the basement, which would pretty much put them in jeopardy. And then you see the next panel, like, he's like, yo, I'm getting Witch back. I don't care what you say. He, you know, stay here, that's in order. And I'm like, yo, I've never seen Shiki be this pissed. I mean, I can understand why, but yo, and Ch.147's like, oh, Shiki, is that how, you know, that any way to talk to your friends? And then he kind of calms down and says he's sorry. I'm like, Ch.147's kind of the mom. She's being the mom in this situation. And he's like, you know, they're trying to let him know, like, this is hard on all of them, but these are exactly the times where they need to stay calm. You know, you just got to meet up with Wise and the other group underground, and then they'll change the mission to destroy the All Link and get Witch back, because they're not going to let her just be there. Chris is like, I'll stay here to protect the ship. I'm assuming that's who said this. And he's like, yeah, thanks. Seeing him like that kind of makes them nervous. Kids are like that. This is the conversation between Ch.147 and Chris. That's why I also said, like, I kind of think Shiki may fall to his darkness when he gets there and sees what's happened to Witch. Maybe he might fall to the darker side of gravity. Like, who knows what's gonna happen. So we get over to seeing Witch chained up, shackled. Lord, the way they got my girl, boy, I'm just, keep my thoughts to myself. sure is bogus ass. Just shows up like, yo, and Witch is like, where am I? He's like, oh, where's Sister and Herman? He's like, I knocked them around a little bit, but they're probably dead. And he's just laughing at it. I'm like, yo, trust me, they're not. You bogus trash character, bro. Don't bother those are anti-ether restraints. You won't be able to use any special powers while you're stuck in these. He's all, but damn, you're all well made. Like, you know, she's one well-made android. He's like, I'd code Demon King's 4 shining stars, ID code coming from his secretary. She's like a close associate of Ziggy. She's also known as the Steel Sorceress. And he's like, Steel, and then that's when he kind of grabs her chest, like, but she's so soft while he's laughing, and you actually see the squish, like, effect there. You see the squish effect there, and she's like, she's almost like a human. And then he calls over looks like a surgical knife, and he just stabs it into her arm, and it looks like she started leaking some type of fluid. He's like, but she feels pain too, so you know, that's nice. He's like, I'm gonna get a lot of fun out of her. Mans is he's really twisted, and she's like, why are you doing this? She's like, what do you know? Like, she's like, what, you didn't know? She's like, to defeat Ziggy, does? She's like, you beat Ziggy? Why? It's like, well, you know what he did on Forrester. That's my planet. And in fact, all planets in our cosmos are my planets. You think I can just stand by and let him act on his own in my cosmos? You know, a lousy robot like himself? Like, come on, like, really? Do you really think that's how it happens? And then he takes another blade and lunges it into her sides. And like, witches, she is keeping her resolve. She is definitely keeping her resolve. He's like, you need to learn not to disobey your human overlords. And I'm just like, oh, this man, I can't wait to see how the battle unfolds when they actually get down to the last fight. Now, somewhere else within Poseidon is the battle in space has reached a stalemate. And this is all just the banter that's going around. Like, they've estimated the leaders and the enemy's main forces, Eraser, have paused to recharge their ether. This is like with our boy Eraser and Gideon. I think his name is Gideon. Apologies if I got the big cat's name wrong. I'm pretty sure it's Gideon. So yeah, that's what's going on. And then we see another one of the oceans, the young lady who probably, I think she has heterochromia because she's got 2 different eye colors, and she's like, they're a halt. She's like, what, they're not trying? Like, obviously, you know, this is just a diversion. And we see a chicken guy. So yeah, there's a chicken guy. He's like, but we'll still play along. Watch this, because Sure said he wants to play, and maybe he needs to pick up a new toy. Or yeah, he picked up a new toy. Now all the troops are kind of like, but you know, the all thing goes live in 20 hours. You know, the computer's all gonna flip out too. And Prince Sure wants to play at a critical time like this. Like, this is all the banter that's going around. Like, please send us a punk kid to replace our old commander. All this other stuff. Like, his troops kind of don't seem too happy. And then he was like, she's like, well, hey now, old man, if you underestimate the younger generation, you'll get hurt. And that's when she pulls out this card. Now, I'm pretty sure these cards may have something to do with her ether gear, you know. Now, back under the dome in the underground passage, this is where Wise's team is. So we see Wise and Rebecca, Pino, Happy still moving through, and they're kind of like, you know, I hope the real Homura is okay, because Homura's still inside the mirror world with Milani fighting, you know, as to what they know. And she's like, I'm picking up a life signature of Miss Homura, so she's still alive. And Moscow is in the background. It's like, we'll get her back, you know, back in the ring because we're friends. I mean, I'm so sick of like the Moscow Shiki. And then kind of like out of nowhere, our boy Wise, like, his eyes start to bug out, and he's like, yo, I'm gonna be scared, like, you know, please, you're scaring me, stand back. And Moscow is like, what? And Wise is like dead ass panicked, and he's like, yo, what's wrong? And Rebecca's doing the same thing. She's like, she looks like she's trembling and shaking and crying. Yep, she breaks out and crying, and Wise is scared, and you know, they're like, what in the duck is, you know, going on right now? And like, Rebecca's, you know, Happy's confused as to what's going on with Rebecca. And then this creepy individual walks out of the shadow saying everything he sees will strike fear in his heart, and everything she sees will fill her with grief. So that's why they're basically panicking and or crying. Those are the hypnotic suggestions I gave them. What a shame. Just like that, they're out of commission. The Imperial Forces Ocean 6 Nase. So this is another one of the oceans, and his ether is like weird. His outfit is weird as hell too, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's kind of creepy. And we chime back over to our girl, and she's like, because of the new generations of oceans are warriors who can make black and white black. So they can make black white and white black. That's kind of different. She activates her ether too. We have the power to tamper with our enemy's ether. Oh, so they're like ether manipulate. They can manipulate others' ether. That's kind of dope. Wait till you get a load of Empire ether. You guys can take care of the rest. Where are you going? The show is about to begin and I want to play too. I'm just a punk kid after all. And this is Lyra. She's also another one of the ocean. So I wonder what her ether gear has to do with anything. Like, what are the cards? Is she some type of gambit? That's kind of what it seems like. Is she some type of gambit character? But who knows, guys? But that's 147 now. This is probably one of the longer chapters. Like, it's got a lot of information in it. Definitely a lot of information. I am hoping that Shiki doesn't fall to the darkness, but you know, who knows? We may see it, we may not see it. I'm wondering if Moskoy in this next battle, how is Moskoy gonna come up? If he's gonna do something, or is, you know, Hamura gonna come from out of the mirror world to help relieve our heroes of any issues that they're having, and what's gonna go on once Shiki does cross into the actual dome to rescue Witch. But until next time, guys, I thank you for watching the video. Like it, comment, gravity punch the subscribe button. Make sure you got the bell notification turned on for any other ether related content that comes out on this channel, and I will holler at y'all later. As always, peace.